You're listening to the DJ Doran Show, a Doran Omni Media production. Warning, the DJ Doran Show contains adult language, mature content, cerebral debate, and thought-provoking conversation. Listener discretion is advised. Call 312-235-2281 to be a part of the discussion. That's 312-235-2281. And now, Chicago's perspicacious host of your sane radio obsession, DJ Doran.
All right, well, welcome to another edition of the DJ Doran Show. We're here live in the studio with some interesting people that I just happened to pick up off the street. So first we have Jenna Grish, who is the host of the world-famous up-and-coming Menage a Pod podcast. Hi, Jenna.
Hi.
And
I love that you called it world-famous and up-and-coming.
Yeah.
I don't know if those things actually go together, but I'm with it.
You're with it.
You.
I'm going to be at both parties.
Yeah.
and then, of course, we have Joe Morales, who is from Joe Eats World. He is eating and drinking his way across the globe. So he's a renowned chef. So welcome, Joe Morales. Joe, say hi to everyone.
Yay, hi.
Joe, I want to know why your intro was better than mine.
I don't know. I'm
What
also
do you mean?
renowned.
You got world famous.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I did get that. You're right.
You
Okay.
got
Exactly.
world famous.
Continue.
I am renowned.
Continue. I'm sorry. You're right. I did.
And then we have
Renowned.
we have our friend Winnie. Winnie, how do you say your last name?
Hefner.
Winnie Hefner. And Winnie is someone that works with Joe, and so he's going to be part of the show. And last but not least, we have our sound engineer, Casey. And Casey was able to run all these wires and get everything all set up, so we're really excited for him.
God bless him.
God bless him. Because you know what? If I would have had to run those wires or had to deal with all those tangles, that's exactly what I would have. That's exactly what you would have heard from this studio as we began. So anyway, today's show we're going to be talking about.
That's actually pretty accurate.
You-
Or it would have been the screams from the people down below who,
I would have.
the stuff lands on.
Oh,
when
you should
throw it
totally
out the
know.
window.
I thought it would have been a bit of a bloodier scream than that, though.
Could
So
be.
today's show, we're going to take a
Post
step
office.
back from politics and current events because we know how crazy that is. But this is Christmas, so this is our Christmas show, and we're going to talk about Christmas. We're going to talk about what our what do you call those things?
Holidays?
Traditions are. You know, what are the things that we remember when we're about Christmas when we were growing up. And we'll talk a little bit about the origins of Christmas and where it began and all that. And so we're very excited about it. So first, I'm going to start off with the other podcast host. Jenna, what do you like about Christmas?
Besides the presents. Really? Oh, I guess.
Same.
Okay, fine. You want more than that.
Yes, hello.
What else do I like about? Well, I like to decorate. I
Jenna,
like
we were
the
just at your
smell.
apartment. I'm not sure that constitutes
Excuse
decorating.
me. Did you not see the fresh garland on the
Oh, I did.
fireplace?
I
Thank
did.
you.
I noticed that.
And the wreath that is alive and kicking because
Yeah, but
the
that
other
wasn't-
one died within
I was
2
going
days.
to say that's not the original
Yeah,
wreath. I
it's
told
not.
Joe
Oh, yeah,
that
real
wasn't the
wreath.
original wreath.
It's not.
No kidding. She threw that away 6 months ago.
Yeah, I threw it away because
No.
well, it kept falling off the door, and so every time it would fall, like a little piece of it would die and break, and I was like, I should probably get rid of
You
this.
get real wreaths? I got mine from Target.
I do, yeah, but only because I love the smell of like a Christmas tree, but a Christmas tree as a single woman to have to like put up, take down is a real pain in the ass.
That's why they have Glade.
That's why
Get a
you have
candle.
DJ.
Exactly.
But also, fun fact, I'm divorced, friends out there. When I was married, our tradition was to collect ornaments
Oh, yeah.
from like
Isn't
everywhere
that
we
everybody's
traveled.
tradition, though?
Well, I don't know, but you know what that means. When I fucking got, can I swear on this?
You absolutely
Sorry.
can.
When I got
It's
divorced,
explicit.
okay, good. When I got divorced, I had 0 Christmas decorations because they were all from
Broken?
our travels. No, but you're right. I should have taken them to like one of those. What are those like?
Rage rooms.
Yeah, a rage room.
Rage room.
That's exactly what I should have done. But yeah, so I think for me, it's like it's a little bit of like the decorating and. You know, growing up, we did have a couple traditions, but I don't know if this is when you want me to talk about that.
Yeah, talk about it.
Okay, so for me, and it's not even like an exciting tradition, but like we would all get together and decorate the tree, and order pizza, which is a big deal because my mom is like a crazy health nut and like never allowed anything in the house with like gluten or like all of those things growing up, which is crazy because she was like way ahead of her time in terms of like that person.
Oh, make sure you tell her that next time you see
her. And so pizza was a big deal. So we'd order pizza and then we'd all get to open up one present while we were decorating the tree. Or like after we decorated the tree.
When do you decorate the tree, though?
Early. So it was like I knew there wasn't a Santa at the age of like 5.
What?
So, Joe.
What?
That's what they did. And I think it was because my mom wanted to open a present. I don't think it had anything to do with the kids. She was always like, I'll go first. And I'm like, yeah, I bet. Love you, Mom.
Love you, long time. Okay, thank you so much. Moving on. Joe, what are your traditions? So Joe is Hispanic and also my husband, by the way. Lucky him. Merry Christmas.
Feliz
Feliz
Navidad.
Navidad.
I thought that would have been
That's what I meant. I meant Feliz Navidad.
I mean, after that, I had to actually kind of say that. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay.
Okay, next.
Okay, but that's rude.
Yeah, did you have traditions? I wonder what are those Mexican traditions?
Well,
Tamales.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Every year
Tamales,
since we've been together 17 years, every year we would make tamales. The whole family would get together and we'd make homemade tamales.
That's
We
fun.
actually did that once.
We did that more than once.
Maybe twice.
Burn.
That is horrible to say. That is totally not true. You obviously have Alzheimer's or something.
Cookies.
Love
Oh,
is.
yeah, absolutely.
Love
Yeah.
is.
I mean, the Mexican side was like...
Tequila drinking?
Absolutely. No, it was actually more Bud Light. They were a Bud Light drinker. But nowadays it's more of whatever's on sale. But no, the Mexican side, because half of our family lived in Colorado and the rest of us were in Washington. So,
There it is.
So it was like the Mexicans, we just all got together and cooked a lot and ate a lot. And obviously we didn't drink a lot because, we were younger. But as we got older, obviously. But like, I remember more. We would split the time between the Mexican family and then my mom's side of the family that's not Mexican because they're German and English and Irish and whatever.
Gringos.
Right. But I mean, we had a lot of. Well, actually, back in the day, they did a lot of drinking too. But food.
What's like a I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Am I hosting this podcast?
No, go ahead.
Absolutely.
Okay. Just kidding. What is like a Mexican like traditional Christmas dinner? Like in my house, it was always like a ham or a turkey.
The same.
Oh, it's the same?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We would do the same. I mean,
Well, they're Mexican
Mexicans,
Americans.
but they're removed.
Oh.
But yeah, it was basically the same. So we'd have. Okay, I know I'm going to say this, but I know because most of my family is not going to listen to this. But one time I have
Your mom's listening.
right now. She will laugh at this. One time we had to get together, and I have a very white aunt. I mean, like American one. I'm not going to say her name, but let me just say that one year she decided she was going to make tamales. So she made tamales, but she used, instead of corn husk, she used fucking foil.
Oh, no.
Foil. I was like, she brings them. She's like, I made tamales, and we're like, where are they? And they're like, in the foil. I'm like, they're individually wrapped.
Yikes.
Aw.
They're going to know who
Meant
they are.
well.
Your mom's going to know who that is.
Absolutely.
Like,
Oh, by the way.
Carol.
Oh, that was Carol. Yeah, that's close. But, anyway, so I should point out that all of us here are friends. We all know each other, so these are not strangers. So we're gonna have some fun, and we're gonna talk about Christmas and what we love about it, what we remember about it growing up, and enjoy ourselves. And that's what this podcast is going to be about today. Because who wants to talk about impeachment?
No.
Oh, that's a Christmas present.
Yeah.
I don't want impeachment for Christmas present.
I like it.
But anyway, so we're going to talk about Christmas. So who here, before we go to Winnie, who here knows
Oh, I do get to talk. Okay,
the origin of Christmas? Anybody?
Is
Santa
that to do with
Claus.
Jesus?
good. Isn't it also...
Oh.
It's a Celtic thing, isn't it? Or close?
Celtic?
Not Celtic. I'm sorry.
Celtic.
Celtic.
Celtic
I've
is
had
a
some wine.
basketball
Is it
team.
yeah.
I've had some wine, excuse me.
All right, well.
That
all in the
actually would be a pretty
pronunciation.
incredible origin story.
Right? It's basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's religious, isn't it? My mother would know this.
I mean, there were 12 of them, right? How many?
Because you
how
could
many
do all
people-
things in Christ, right?
Well,
Absolutely. How many people are on a basketball team?
How do I know? I'm gay. I don't
I know.
follow
I
that
think
shit.
there's like 12, and Jesus could have been the coach because he had 12 disciples.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, look at
There's
you.
not 12.
Someone had to
I know.
bring the myrrh. No? Frankincense? What was it?
Over 40 apparently.
Whatever.
I don't know.
40?
I'm surprised I knew that it was basketball. I'm not going to lie to you.
Well, I mean, actual players.
Oh. I don't know.
40? That's
What?
insane.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Do you know that Christmas
Sheesh.
was not? It's a religious holiday. It's a celebration of Christ's birth. But if
I
you
won.
Think, yeah, but if you think about it, so why would they choose December 25th when these were shepherds shepherding goats or sheep or whatever they were herding, right? You wouldn't do that in the middle of winter.
You do in the Middle East.
Is it winter in the Middle East?
Dating. Oh, I don't know.
What? They don't have snow.
I know. So what I'm saying is,
That's a desert.
oh well, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a desert.
You know, Moses was in the desert for 40 days and 40 nights. Jesus was in the desert.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Well, anyway, Christmas is.
I don't even know if they have a word for snow.
Yeah, it's in the middle of December, but it wasn't even established by the Christians.
It wasn't?
Nope, it was established by the
Jews.
Europeans and the Scandinavians.
Oh.
And it's
Celtics?
It first, yeah, and it first started out. It was called Yule, and it was
Yes.
December 21st, and
Yes.
it was the
But
winter
that's
solstice.
Yes.
Yes.
And so what they did was the celebration was the solstice is when the days get longer.
Yes.
Yeah, so they were like, oh, we made it through.
Well, the winter solstice, the days get longer.
The days get longer. We made it through winter, so now every day is going to be longer, and it's going to be closer to
Wasn't
And
it the
then
beginning of winter, though?
what?
Wasn't it the beginning of the winter?
No,
Yeah.
December
Yes.
21st.
It's the solstice, and that's
Yeah.
actual winter.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
yeah,
days
but
start getting shorter.
the
Yes.
days start
I mean,
getting
getting
short.
longer, I'm
longer or whatever. Yes.
so impressionable.
The sky is
Cut
pink.
all that. Cut
Go.
all that.
You're right.
I know. Really, I'm trying to read through this. It's like, and it's
I
also
mean, if you were going to talk about that, I could have just told you. So basically, you had the pagans who had celebrated Yule on the winter solstice, and then what happens is the Catholics or the Christians come in,
the Romans,
which are what?
Italian.
Catholic or Christian. So then they come in.
No, they were actually pagan, and
Yes,
they
they were a different sort of pagan.
and they
so what
and they
did,
hold on, and they celebrated Saturnalia.
Oh, look at you! You're right. But and then they had the Pope comes in and Christianity and blah 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 blah, and then they turn all of those pagan religions into a religious festival that fits Christianity.
Okay, so I'm going to read you.
We
This,
should have called my mom to tell this story.
yeah, but I'm going to read you this excerpt that I.
She has a black Santa.
She does.
Oh my
She
God.
does.
I'm going to read you this excerpt that I dug up during my research, and I'm just listen. In the early years of Christianity, Easter was the main holiday. The birth of Jesus was not even really celebrated. In the 4th century, church officials decided to institute the birth of Jesus as a holiday. The 4th century, mind you, right? Unfortunately, the Bible does not mention a date for his birth. In fact, the Puritans later pointed out, in order to deny the legitimacy of the celebration, although some evidence suggests that this birth may have actually occurred in the spring. Why would shepherds be herding in the middle of winter? That's what I was saying earlier. But Pope Julius I chose December 25th. The Pope chose December 25th, mainly because it's commonly believed that the Church chose this date in an effort to adopt and absorb the traditions of the pagan Saturnalia festival, first called the Feast of the Nativity, and the custom spread to Egypt by 432, and then to England by the end of the 6th century. So here's the thing. Yeah, so here's the thing. Basically, the Romans and the Catholic Church said, hey, we want to take over all these pagan rituals, and then we want to claim it as our own. And
Right.
so, and by
Sounds
holding,
about right.
yeah, those Catholics,
I'm telling you.
They conquered
They
the world.
fucking think they own everything.
I know.
Absolutely.
By holding Christmas at the same time as the traditional winter solstice festivals, church leaders increased the chances that Christmas would be popularly embraced.
Shots.
So, of course, it was all about power, right? But gave up the ability to dictate how it was celebrated. And by the Middle Ages, Christianity had, for the most part, replaced pagan religion. And that's what really happened. So the Catholic Church established Christmas in the winter on December 25th in order to take all of these pagan rituals
Correct.
and basically make them their own.
But side note, they did that throughout the entire year because Easter was called something else, and that was a pagan ritual.
Well, do you know that Christmas was kind of like Mardi Gras back then? It was
People were showing their boobies.
Oh yeah.
beads and everything.
Give me some
Wow,
stuff.
that just took a turn.
I know.
Did
So-
you see how I perked up? I
No
was like,
wonder
tell
why-
me more.
No wonder why I
know.
like Christmas.
So believers, they attended the church and then celebrated raucously in a drunken carnival-like atmosphere. Sort of
Oh,
like,
I like it.
whatever, like we're used
That
to
sounds
that.
way better.
Similar to Mardi Gras.
Let
and,
the wine flow.
and then a beggar student would be crowned the Lord of Misrule.
And then they murdered him later
And
that
eager
evening.
celebrants played the part of
Well,
his
that means
subject.
somebody's going to get
I
sacrificed.
guess so. The
come
poor
on.
would go to the
100%.
houses. But here's the thing. The poor would go to the houses of rich people, so they wouldn't be coming here, and demand their best food and drink.
Into it.
I would totally.
And if the owners,
I know a couple of
and if the rich
we should
people
do
didn't
that.
comply, the visitors would terrorize them with mischief.
I'd
And
be
then
like-
Christmas became the time of the year when upper classes could repay the real or imagined debt to society by entertaining the less fortunate.
I'm not mad about that
Let's
either.
do it right now.
Yeah.
Let's change it now.
I mean, that's like Robin Hood at
into
Christmas.
But did you know
That's
that?
like every Monday night when I come to your house for family dinner.
That's right. Did you know Christmas was canceled?
Seriously.
They canceled Christmas.
there's
Oh,
a,
a
mon-
year
there's a
without
weekly
Santa Claus.
Monday dinner.
That cartoon made me cry. A year without Santa Claus.
Oliver Cromwell, a famous Puritan, right, took over England in 1645, and they vowed to rid England of decadence, and as part of their effort, cancel Christmas because
Right.
Christmas was associated with decadence.
dick.
They did that here too.
But by popular demand, Charles II was restored to the throne, and he returned
Restored.
restored to the throne, and then he returned Christmas to legitimacy. I thought that was interesting. I mean,
It is.
I never really knew about this. So Christmas, we always thought it was like the birth of Christ, but it really is not just about the birth of Christ. This was about a religion taking over all of these festivals and rituals and saying, you know what, we're going to take everything and pull it all together and then make
They
it
took
Christmas,
over
and
the
then we're going to
peasants'
make it our
religion.
own so that we can be in control of it. Wow,
I
that's
believe we had this conversation years ago, and you didn't believe me.
There was lots of things they took, like stockings. Kind of have a recollection to when Saint Nicholas would come to visit in the European countries. They would put shoes out.
Yeah.
And they would put
Clogs.
be filled with candy.
Yeah.
The next morning.
Actually,
Yeah.
Google this. Fact check me on this one because I just heard this on another podcast talking about the stockings and why they put like the idea of putting coal in your stocking was like, I guess it was like started by ladies of the night back in the day who would
My kind of people.
right who would like wash their stockings and then actually hang them
To dry.
by the fire to dry.
Yeah.
And I don't know what you'd call it, like what's the word, like
Hookers?
no. And then like the legend, that's what I was saying. The legend goes that like there was like a rich guy that came by and threw money like and it hit the chimney and it went down and landed in their stockings.
I mean, that would make sense
So it all
because
started with hookers.
Yeah.
I know, but that's not a
What a great
Santa
tradition.
Claus.
Thank you, hookers.
I'm just
into it.
saying.
I mean, because that's
You said stockings.
that
so.
was one of the things too, though, is because they used to put like you could buy the chocolate coins and they would put those in the stockings
Yeah.
when we were growing up too. So that would totally make sense.
I'm just saying. I don't know if that's true. I heard it on another podcast.
It's an
So.
interesting
Then it must be true.
take on
Yeah.
it. But see, the thing that I think
Check
is
notes.
fascinating is that, you know, Christmas wasn't really even celebrated in the United States until like the 1800s.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep, 1870.
And they even banned it here too. 'Cause
They
I
banned
just
it.
saw it on Facebook.
Yeah, no. They banned it.
They did.
I think it was what?
Again, the Puritans.
Yeah, it got banned early on, but then it wasn't a federal holiday until 1870.
Yeah.
You know, after the Civil War. You know, people think that Christmas was around since Jesus,
Since
right?
Santa Claus.
But it but it wasn't. It wasn't around. It became a holiday in the 1800s, and then in the 19th century, you know, they start to write songs about it. So and stories. So they wrote A Christmas Carol by Washington Irving, and I'm sorry, Charles Dickens, and then and then and that's how St. Nicholas sort of came around, and that's how it sort of became more of an American institution. And then the legend of Santa Claus can be traced all the way back to a monk named St. Nicholas,
Yes.
and who was born in Turkey. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know any of this.
Yep. He was born in Turkey around 280 AD, 280 years after the death of Christ, right? And so he gave away all of his inherited wealth to poor people in the countryside, the poor and sick, and he became known as the protector of children and sailors, which because apparently he was from a port city. And he first entered the American pop culture scene in the late 18th century and in New York, when Dutch families would gather around and honor the anniversary of the death of Sint Nicolaas, Dutch for Saint Nicholas, or Sinterklaas for short. Santa Claus. That's where Santa Claus. Sinterklaas.
Metal.
Or Father Christmas.
And in 1822, Episcopal minister Clement Clarke Moore wrote a Christmas poem called An Account of a Visit from St. Nicholas. You know what that is?
I'm sorry, what?
What?
We were side
I was
conversation.
just saying it's Daddy Christmas.
Uh-huh. Daddy Christmas. It's so gay. An account from of a visit from St. Nicholas is a popular poem. Do you know what it's called now? By chance, anybody?
It was the night before Christmas.
'Twas the Night Before Christmas.
Oh, damn.
Right,
Oh,
and the
look
poem
at
depicted
you.
Santa Claus as a jolly man who flies home to home and on a sled driven by reindeer to deliver toys. And the iconic version of Santa Claus as a jolly man with a red and white beard and a sack of toys was immortalized in 1881. And this is when, it's funny because a political cartoonist named Thomas Nast drew that poem, 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, to create the image of old Saint Nick as we know today. So here's a couple of Christmas facts before we take a break.
Wait, I know one.
What?
The guy that the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer was created by the guy that worked for Macy's. He was in charge of advertising.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
That's part of my fact. So each year,
Ba-boom.
Finish, Joe.
And then
Is
he
any
got...
of yours about hookers and stockings?
but
Damn it.
each year, this is true. Each year, 30 to 35 million real Christmas trees are sold in the United States.
I believe that.
There are 21,000 Christmas tree growers.
Yeah, for 4
and
feet
it
tall,
takes
they get $75.
15 years for them to grow to adulthood before they
Takes
can
what?
be sold. 15 years.
Wow.
Oh.
And do you know that in the Greek and Orthodox churches, Christmas is celebrated 13 to 14 days after the 25th. Do you know why?
Why?
Because the Western churches use the Gregorian calendar, while the Eastern churches
Julian.
use the Julian calendar.
How do you know all this
I know,
stuff,
Joe.
Joe?
I read a lot.
Yeah, clearly.
You're like a
About
Christmas
Santa Claus.
fanatic. Yeah.
And here's another fun fact. Christmas was canceled from 1659 to 1681, and the celebration of Christmas was outlawed in Boston.
It's that goddamn red cup.
I
isn't
knew
it?
that.
And
That's what I read on
lawbreakers
Facebook.
and lawbreakers were fined 5 shillings if you
Oh.
celebrated Christmas.
5
Yep,
shillings.
I read that on
Yep.
Facebook, too.
That's a whole turkey.
Or a goose.
In a whole turkey.
I always
Or
wanted
a
to do a
goose.
goose for turkey.
You should do it.
I mean,
Can we
a goose
not?
for dinner.
I mean, you would
I
do
know.
it. You're the chef.
I know I would, but
The first. Did
These-
you know
I'm
that
working
the
with
first
these two.
eggnog
it's gross.
made in the United States was consumed by Captain John Smith in 1607 at the Jamestown?
You mean before
settlement.
he killed all of the settlers or
No,
the
you're thinking
American
of-
Indians?
No. All right, poinsettia plants. You know this?
They're poisonous.
Are named after
Yeah.
Joel R. Poinsett, an American minister to Mexico. They're a Mexican plant
No kidding.
who brought the red and green plant from Mexico to America in 1828.
I did know
Do you
that.
know
You're
that,
clearly
Joe?
not a
I
real
did know
Mexican,
that.
Joe.
I did know that.
Uh-huh.
Do you know the origin of mistletoe?
It's poison.
Ooh.
Well, yes, but it's also a Norse thing. 'Cause, do you want to tell it?
No,
Joe?
go ahead.
Since you know it all.
It's
Why
also a
not tell us?
hallucinogenic.
It
Oh.
It is. So it's
But-
like, who am I kissing?
It's true.
It's probably better that way.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
usually how I go about it. I
Yeah.
just close my eyes and I'm
Ew. I hope they brush their teeth.
I love you, mistletoe.
like, get over here, you.
So no, tell us the story.
I don't quite remember who it's about, but it's it's a Norse god. It's about Freya, one of her children. She asked for a gift from each of the elements, I believe, and then she overlooked mistletoe. Loki discovered this and used an arrow that was laced with mistletoe, and then it killed whoever it was. I can't remember who it was.
Oh.
I'm not up on my mythology. But she vowed to never overlook such a simple plant like mistletoe, and that's why you kiss under it, because it's a way to show respects to the plant.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Just don't eat it.
I might be full of shit, but who
Uh-huh.
knows?
Don't eat it. Don't drink it. Don't touch it.
Have a
All
good
right.
time with it, though.
So here's. Ew, do you use the tongue?
No, never the tongue. That's how you get the hallucinogenics on it.
Ew.
Oh.
Do you know the Salvation Army has been sending red-clad Santa Clauses collecting money since 1890?
Huh.
That's how long.
But did you know that on Facebook there's a video going around of all of these Santa Clauses getting into a fight in the street, and they're like running into all of these cars, and people are trying to drive down the road, and they're literally just pushing and shoving and punching each other. I watched it 3 times.
Is that from the Santa Claus thing in New York City? Where they
the
used to do
SantaCon?
Yeah.
SantaCon?
No, they used to do it, and my favorite was walking like home from school when I worked at college in New York, and like it was just a herd of drunk Santas walking around.
Yeah, I don't
that's
know.
funny.
I don't know if that clip was from there, but I just read this thing about. It was on Instagram, I think. Somebody was complaining about SantaCon, and they're like, how to identify a fake New Yorker, because all of these people just come swarming into the city to do SantaCon, and so all they do is just get drunk and belligerent and cause all this ruckus and everything, and people, literally, New Yorkers hate it, and they do it anyways.
Correction.
All my boyfriends in New
Correction
York.
to the fun fact about Rudolph.
Wait, can I tell you my story about Santas? I actually always thought that SantaCon would be a great time of year, or like any of those like bar crawls that they do around Wrigley around here with the Santas would be a great time to commit a crime.
Right? Like, it
because
was
you
Santa.
just disappear
Wearing a
back
Santa
into,
suit.
Yes, you just disappear back into a whole bunch of Santas.
Yeah.
Which one are you?
Change
I
your
don't know.
beard.
I'm into
Yeah.
it. I'm into
Right?
it.
Like maybe we should like talk about robbing a bank or something.
I'm into
True.
it. Let's,
Later
after
we'll talk
another
about
glass
When
of
it's
wine.
not
Yeah.
being recorded.
Yeah. So Rudolph, the most famous reindeer of all, was the product of Robert L. May. You probably got confused about this. His imagination in 1939. But he wrote a poem about the
Why did I
reindeer
get confused?
to help lure customers into the Montgomery Ward.
Yeah, that's
department.
what it was.
Oh,
Montgomery
not
Ward.
Macy's.
I remember that
Well, I
place.
do love Macy's, so that's not an ad.
Or monkey
But just
monkey
get in
wards.
touch
Joe
with
used
me.
to call it monkey wards.
You would.
He would.
when you were 10?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This last week.
I mean,
Or like, yeah.
they don't even exist anymore.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I used to get their
unfortunately.
catalog.
Macy's?
No,
No,
Montgomery
Montgomery
Ward.
Ward.
Oh, okay. I was like, have you been downtown?
For a
No,
long time.
unfortunately.
I love Macy's.
Okay, well,
So
listen, we've already gone in a half hour, so we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about our own personal holiday,
Jesus.
Christmas
Our own personal Jesus.
I mean, I didn't get to talk about my traditions. So I
tradition.
guess
So
my
you're
traditions
going
go
to
fuck
come back. We're going to do that.
themselves.
I got to figure out how to use this newfangled thing, though. First, let's try this.
Oh, I know where that's from. It's a Wonderful Life.
That was part of my Christmas tradition. Who doesn't watch It's a Wonderful Life every single year at Christmas?
I mean, really.
I don't. But I've seen it a couple of times. Yeah.
I didn't watch it last year.
My grandma
They
gets
played
drunk
it
on
at the
eggnog
Music
and watches
Box.
it.
You what?
They played at the Music Box Theater.
Oh, and by the
Which is
way,
fun.
they just restored it in Ultra 5K
I love your
HD, too.
grandmother.
Colette's great.
Yep. So anyway, this part of the DJ Doran Show is brought to you by our friends at Joe Eats World. Joe is a world-renowned chef eating and drinking his way across the globe. This episode of the DJ Doran Show is brought to you by our friends at Joe Eats World, featuring Chef Joe Morales as he eats and drinks his way through life, sharing recipes, dining experiences, and cooking tips. Be sure to follow him at joeeatsworld.com and on his Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
I'm so far away, and I can't see for good. Any chance
All right, we're back. Joe had to take a wine break and listen, we're celebrating Christmas here, and that's fine, too.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
I was actually on a flight today back from New York on Southwest, actually, and they said Merry Christmas. I was surprised.
Really?
Yeah, you don't hear that often. It's always a Happy Holidays.
I know, because
I like that they committed to a Merry Christmas.
yeah, me too. I
Yeah.
absolutely refuse to say Happy Holidays as
Yeah.
my only way. I'll say it, but I say Merry Christmas too. And if anyone gives me a sideways glance, well, they'll just have to deal with DJ.
Well, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, Winnie and Casey and Jenna
Thanks.
and Joe.
Not here.
I
Joe's pouring a bag of wine into my glass.
actually have a fun
Ooh.
idea for your show. You can edit this out. It would be fun if you played those and we guessed what the Christmas movie was.
Oh, yeah. We could do
What?
that.
Christmas.
Christmas. Okay, so here, let's do that. We're going to try this little thing that Jenna suggested, and I'm going to play a clip, and you guys guess what movie.
Yeah.
Of course, I already know.
Prize.
You
I
guys,
really like a prize.
okay, ready?
Okay.
What kind of prize? Whiskey.
Okay, stand by. Let's try this one.
His Undying Love. Oh. Say it.
Scrooged.
Scrooge.
Ah.
Oh, that's Bill Murray.
Okay, so that was
Brilliant.
that was easy. Let's try this one.
What? What?
Oh. I don't know that one.
Do that again.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. Got invited to the Christmas party by mistake.
No idea.
Love Actually?
No. I know that movie by
No.
heart.
Okay, so it's not that one.
Okay, ready? I'm going to give you another guess. Hold on.
Same part.
Oh.
Scarface.
The one with Arnold
Oh.
Schwarzenegger. No?
Is it Con Air?
Oh, no. God, you guys, it's not really a Christmas movie, but it's the one that everyone says is a Christmas movie.
Oh,
every
the one
year.
with Bruce Willis.
The action movie. Yeah.
Hard.
Is that
Die
the one?
Hard.
Die
Die
Hard.
Thank
Oh,
you.
what did I
Thanks.
just say?
I feel like that was a team effort. You're
Team
welcome.
effort.
We all got that.
Okay.
We all deserve love.
We're going
Yeah.
to try this one. I don't think you'll get this one, but.
Bad Santa.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got
I
that
just
one.
saw that the other day.
Duh, he just said, what is it with you and fucking sandwiches? Hello? Santa doesn't talk like that unless it's Bad Santa.
That sounds like my Christmases.
No kidding.
Oh.
I love that movie. I can't wait to watch it.
I mean, I love
Okay,
Elf.
That's Joe.
I will tell you this right now. I do not care for Will Ferrell, but Elf,
So
let
good.
me tell you, gets me every year. And then he and Zoe Deschanel when they're singing it.
Yeah, that was the first time I
It's so
realized that
cute.
she could sing.
Oh
I
my God, no!
know.
I've heard her sing
She was
before.
good.
She's so good.
My best friend Shanna. Hey, Shanna. She looks just like she's a Deschanel sister.
Oh.
I'm very
Really?
jealous of her looks.
Wow.
She's gorge. Hey,
I don't know
Shanna.
if you guys know Ben Gibbard or Death Cab for Cutie. He has some other recordings with Zoe Deschanel, and they're very, very good.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
I know she's a singer,
She's
a good
great,
singer in
yeah.
real life, too.
I love her.
Okay, here, I think I have one more that we're going to try.
I know it.
You
Just kidding.
don't know it. I'm trying to see which one we did here. This one.
Nightmare Before
Hello.
Christmas.
Yeah.
What is it?
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh.
Seriously.
Do you have any? What's your most embarrassing favorite like holiday movie? Anybody?
Oh, I don't have an embarrassing one, but I do have a favorite one.
What's your favorite?
The one with like,
It doesn't count if you don't even know the name of it.
well, I can never remember, but it's like the old claymation ones with the snow miser.
Oh, yeah,
whatever it
yeah,
is.
Oh, yeah, the
What-
Heat Miser and the
Yeah,
Snow
yeah,
Miser.
yeah.
I'm Mr. Heat
Yeah,
Miser.
yeah,
He's
that
Mr.
one. Snow.
Snow.
Dun dun
Yeah.
dun.
That is actually the story of DJ and I.
Yeah.
Yes, it
It
is.
is.
Oh my
It is,
gosh,
right?
you're so right.
Seriously.
It is.
I'm the Snow Miser and Joe is the Heat Miser.
Yeah,
Aww. Love
that's
this.
cute.
Just in different bodies.
I think my most embarrassing favorite one is an ABC Family one called Mistletones. It's like acapella. It's like Pitch Perfect meets Christmas Carols.
Oh,
Oh, I would
I'm
watch
not
that.
mad
It's got
about
Tori
that.
Spelling and
Oh,
well,
no,
now
you
you
lost
lost
me.
me.
You lost
Yeah.
me at Tori Spelling. Sorry.
I mean, listen, I went to Pitch Perfect 3 with you guys in the
Yeah, you
movie
did.
theater.
did.
You were so drunk.
And you know
though.
what? They invited me. I'm like, no.
Yeah. He was like,
It was so
whatever.
bad, and, but I was so
said
drunk.
no.
I know. Can you believe
It
it?
was so much fun.
Never.
It was like nice plush seats,
Yeah.
and they brought booze and food to you.
Yeah.
Listen,
was
I
like
don't
an
really
Alamo
remember
Draft
the
House?
movie, if I'm being honest.
No.
Just
It
so
was
you
at
know, Joe has all the Christmas movies, like all of them, Rankin Bass movies, you know, like Rudolph, The Town Without Christmas, Santa Claus Hates Me, or whatever. And he forces me every year. We're watching these Christmas movies. They're like
One
they're
year
like
I bought them
cartoons.
for everybody. I bought a set for everybody in our family.
I'd watch it with you.
I too would watch
year.
it, but I like
Yeah.
horror movies in there too.
Yeah, it is a horror movie because that
Silent
fucking
Night, Bloody Night.
yeah, no, that fucking elf wants to be a dentist. Can you imagine having an elf stand on your chest, pulling your teeth out?
That actually has happened
And
to
he's
me before.
gay, too.
Well, I mean, not the elf, but
Yeah,
Even when
the
I was
dentist has
even when I was a
actually
kid, I was like, "There's something different about that elf."
Oh yeah, no. When I was younger,
The
I had,
wavy
like,
hair.
I had like really wafty blonde hair, and everyone was like, "You look like the little elf from Rudolph." And I was like, "Thank you."
Yeah, there's a lot of gay overtones for that
Was his
show.
name Herbie?
Yeah.
I
Oh, do you
never-
remember
Hermie.
I don't- Yeah.
Hermie? Do
Hermie.
you remember when the Yukon Cornelius he threw the pick up and he'd go like
He's
this?
a bear.
He'd go like this. No, he's a bear. But he'd go like this. He'd throw it up. He'd pick it up off the snow and he'd go. I was like, that's strangely kind of turns me on.
Hey.
Wow.
Okay. Now that would
We're
be
getting
your
into some
embarrassing
deep-seated
show.
stuff right now.
I mean,
That's my.
I feel
I don't know
like-
if we're venturing into the DJ Doran Show or going into the Menage podcast.
Yeah.
You know.
We could talk about that
what
on
we
my
need
show.
to know is what Joe's gonna be wearing after we leave here for tonight.
He has an elf costume.
Oh, okay. So that was part of my tradition.
Oh, okay.
growing
So,
up.
fun fact: I did have a one year when we lived on the boat. He played Santa Claus for the marina, and he forced me to wear a Rudolph reindeer. Well,
I bought.
It was no. I'm telling the story. It was a Rudolph. It was a reindeer costume,
A full body.
But we went to. Somebody please shut off his mic. But we
I'm in
went
control of
to.
that.
We literally went to a Hollywood costume rental place because it was in California, so it was like this big warehouse, and they're like, "Do you have reindeer outfits?" I'm like, "Yeah, we have reindeer outfits." So they brought it out, and swear to God, it had white on the belly, and everything else was brown, and the tail and everything, and it zipped up. He's like, "We're taking that." And he's like, "Okay, but we need a deposit because people they rent out our costumes and they never bring them back." And I'm like, "We're not doing that because I'm not going to run around with this fucking reindeer
You don't know.
outfit."
Some
So,
little sexy time
anyways.
costume play.
Right.
You've been naughty.
I'm the hunter.
He's like, "We're gonna
You've
make you
been
into
naughty.
this. We're gonna make you into this reindeer, and we're gonna paint your face, and you're gonna have a red nose. You're gonna be Rudolph." And I'm like, "That's not gonna work." So he takes paint, like makeup, but face makeup, and
You might want to add that we were all drunk.
well, yeah, we were drinking
As most
vodka.
Christmas stories go.
I feel
But-
like that's a given.
Yeah,
well.
well, I
Yeah.
mean, that's what you actually had to do to get me into this fucking costume. But anyway, so he's like, puts the makeup on my face, and it's like not even flesh colored. It's like zombie white.
Oh.
And
Like gray.
And then
Huh.
the red nose that he was going to put on my nose, he kept putting glue, like the nose glue or whatever, but he kept putting so much on there that when he put it on, and then he took sparkle glitter red fingernail polish because he wanted the nose to
Yes.
sparkle and shine. But every time he put it on my nose, it
Aren't
kept
they cute?
popping off.
Yeah, and
So
Joe would be
then-
like this. DJ, I can't hear a word your name.
Yeah. Anyways, so we did Santa Claus party, blah 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 blah, and
Wait a minute. You got to add the
Guess
other
what?
part. You got to add the part. When he was trying to stuff the pillow up my shirt, he was on his hands and knees in front of me, and our friends were taking pictures.
yeah, it looked like
It, it looked like that.
Was
So
that your Christmas card?
You wish.
yeah, so yeah, right.
Happy holidays.
So
Happy
long
ho, ho,
story,
ho.
even longer. We never did return that reindeer.
We never
outfit.
returned the reindeer. we were one of those people. Thank God he had our deposit.
Oh my god!
But
So
he's
you break it out every year. Now it's
No,
a
we don't-
tradition.
we don't
no,
know-
we lost it. I don't know where it
It's
is
a
now.
weird sex.
No,
Every
but-
Christmas Eve. It's their
It's like we were the original.
That's their tradition.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Was
but
there
he,
something about a Yule log in there?
when he saw it, he said to me, when he saw it, he said, "I am not wearing that thing. I am not wearing that thing." 2 days later,
God.
he was wearing
couple
that thing.
whiskeys later, he's like, "Yeah, you
Yeah.
like that, Santa?"
Yeah,
Oh my
and then
God.
I had a thing where he had antlers on his head too,
Oh
and
my
I wanted
God.
to tie him to one of the.
Yeah, you did.
What?
Yeah, you did.
I
You
wanted
should
to
probably
tie-
go to
I'm telling you,
commercial
this
right
story
now.
is
I wanted
taking
to
a
tie
turn.
and to the dock cart, and then load the dock cart with the presents, so he could be.
Yeah.
But he drew the line there.
I
He
was
stopped
like,
there.
no.
I'm glad you said it. I didn't.
Good
Yep.
God.
So that's the thing is, if you get Joe drunk or high, he'll do whatever you ask. So like,
I don't get high, Mom.
Yeah, sorry, I meant
Not at all, Joe's mom.
Please.
not at all. But he we were in the motorhome several years later, and we did.
Okay, I got high then.
Yes, he got high then. And
I think I got high in that motorhome. Did I not?
Yeah.
He put on his elf costume in the parking lot of Walmart or whatever, wherever the hell. No, we were in Miami, I think, at the time.
It doesn't really matter.
Anyway, he had that elf costume, and I took a picture of it.
It's
And
now my Facebook page.
Yep.
Page. But
so that was one of our Christmas things. But
anyways, my favorite Christmas show is The Christmas Carol.
yeah, which one? The one with Alistair Cook?
The original.
Not Jim Carrey.
Not
No.
Jim. Oh no!
Do I hate him?
Or George C. Scott. I
Unpopular
always
opinion.
hated George C. Scott after he tried to kill Drew Barrymore in Firestarter.
Firestarter.
I was like, you're a dick.
I
I don't
love
want to
Drew
ever
Barrymore.
talk to you anymore.
I love Drew Barrymore.
And
Nobody
Yep.
fucks with Drew Barrymore, and they're unforgiven.
Exactly.
Yep.
I was like,
Joe loves Drew Barrymore too. He's
I
like,
do.
oh, I love her.
We are like little twinsies.
And then I got her to watch the
Santa Clarita.
the Santa Clarita Diet.
Oh, that's a good one.
And she's
It was
like,
cute.
I don't think
really
I like
cute.
it. And then
I
she's
wasn't
like,
into it. It took me at least 3
takes a couple
episodes to get
episodes.
into, and then I was like,
I was
all
the
right.
same way. I was like,
Yeah.
I'll keep going for Drew, but
Yeah.
See? Absolutely. Drew
I like
Barrymore.
The daughter.
yeah.
I like the daughter.
Like they're cute together. The
Yes.
The bo-
relationship.
yeah.
So, what's your favorite Christmas movie,
Winnie.
Winnie?
I already told you it's the Mistletones.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
yeah.
That was it?
That's not my favorite one. My favorite one is, I mean, you know me, I'm a big horror fan, so I like Krampus. It was my new favorite one.
I like the Krampus one.
Krampus was good.
was
I like
not
I like a little cheekiness to my horror movies, especially when it's Christmas.
Mm-hmm. Casey, what about you? What's your favorite Christmas movie?
Honestly, I have no idea.
Wait, what?
Are you a bah humbug?
Maybe, I don't know. What does that even mean? I've never heard that before.
Scrooge. Oh, okay. Well, you need to watch A Christmas Carol then.
Scrooge is cool. I mean, I feel like I watched that a long time ago. That's why when I was doing the clips, I was like, I know that there's like this Bill Murray movie where it's like kind of goofy and fun. Okay, Elf is hilarious. Maybe it's just like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just caught off by this question. What's your favorite? And I'm like, I don't know. I didn't really put that much thought. I really like A Christmas Story too. I mean, they just... I don't know. Maybe that's just. Why do you hate that movie?
He hates that
Do you not
movie.
like that movie?
No, I do.
I love that movie.
I watched it probably once or twice in my entire life. I hate them.
I want you to watch A Christmas Story, Joe.
Okay. No, wait. This
That
is
would
for,
be
this
me.
is for Joe. This is for Joe.
Wait, what? Oh yeah.
Oh,
Although he did
Christmas
grow up to
Story.
be quite a looker.
He is a little cutie now. My uncle always watches it. Every like Christmas Eve, we would go there, and my uncle would have it on, and it's like the repeat one that's on UPS.
Yeah,
Not UPS.
TBS.
UPS.
TBS. My brother Mike would
what
do
are you
the same
watching on
thing.
UPS?
Too much wine. Too
My
much wine.
My brother would have it too. We would always go over there and it's like, stop. And he's like, it's a great show. And it's like going constantly.
It's not that great.
Oh.
I'm a hot take. I'm gonna say it.
No, my favorite Christmas.
My building has called me twice.
Oh.
I just want to make sure that everything's okay.
Okay, we'll take a break and we'll be right back.
Oh shit! Sorry, I do that at home.
There's always one.
Bad habit.
We can edit all
Bad
this out.
See how rotate the arm so it's like parallel with the.
Yeah. Okay.
Hold on, I don't know why they keep calling.
I hope everything's okay.
Me too.
They're like, we're going to
I
come.
ignored it the first time because I was like, maybe it's wrong.
They're like, we
Well,
got to
the
wish you a
girls
Merry
don't call me.
Christmas. We're going to.
It's
probably
I have a
John.
delivery when I don't actually have a delivery.
We're like, we'd like to come pick up our cleaning bottles on your deck.
Anyway,
If it's David, say hi.
I'm leaving that in just so I can show.
Yes, I love David.
That's a doorman from our building across the way. All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break, I think. When we come
I
back.
thought you already did that.
No, we're going to take a break. It's only an hour-long show, dude. Let's see. What do we want here? Oh, there, we'll try this. All right, we'll be right back. You're listening to the DJ Doran Show.
You're listening to the DJ Doran Show. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Call 312-235-2281 to speak to DJ.
Just go.
You're listening.
Why wouldn't they just do that anyway?
Because they assumed that I was home.
You need to go run over and check.
I'm wondering if I should. Can you guys do the second part without me
Yep.
really quickly? I literally am right across the street.
Yeah.
So it'll take me 10 minutes.
Yep.
And I'll be right back. Oh, yeah. I'll bring mine.
Hopefully nothing's burning. Did you try and...
Miles isn't cooking, right? He can't reach the burners. Oh shit!
You left a candle burning?
Just go.
Okay.
Okay, you have a lot of editing to do,
Sorry, my dude.
but that's okay. All right, so
Jenna will be back. She's got a baklava in the oven.
yeah,
But
Jenna will be back. She has a
I can
baklava in the
guarantee
oven.
you, she doesn't have a baklava in the oven.
But
Yeah,
she's bringing wine.
but she's bringing wine, so we
Absolutely.
can continue this. Anyway, so my favorite movie is Christmas Vacation. Have you guys seen that one?
Of course, that's a good classic.
The Griswold.
Surprised you didn't say that was one
but-
of your favorites.
But there's
I
a,
was like, is it-
you know, there's a pop-up bar in
Yeah.
Wrigleyville. that
It's
is-
right over on Clark. I drove past it. They have a motorhome out front.
National Lampoon.
I already told you.
Is Chevy Chase like in every single one of those?
The old
Yes.
ones,
Yeah.
In every National Lampoon's Vacation, he's in.
Yeah.
He and here's
Randy
the thing.
Quaid.
No, he and Beverly D'Angelo are the parents in every movie, although the children swap out. So, like Juliette Lewis, do you know who she is?
Natural Born Killers.
She's the daughter.
Oh,
She's in those movies, and then Rusty, the son, is played by two different actors. One of them is Jonathan Galicki from Big Bang Theory.
Hofstadter.
Leonard Hofstadter. And the other one is the other kid that played Rusty was, I don't even know because he's irrelevant.
yeah, not the Big Bang guy.
He's not the real Rusty.
Yeah,
He's not the real Rusty.
yeah, he's not the real Rusty.
But yep, that's my favorite movie. I like to watch it because you can't see.
I know a lot about that.
You can't see in the studio here, but our whole place is decked out in Christmas lights and
Oh, boy,
Christmas
is
trees.
it.
It went crazy.
It's a winter wonderland.
Absolutely.
And when we owned a house, I would put tons of decorations outside.
I think my favorite Christmas movie is Friday After Next. Actually,
Ooh, that's a good one.
Friday After
I never heard of it.
Oh,
with Ice Cube.
it's wonderful.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I haven't seen
So-
it. I mean, it's been a long time.
I have a funny story about that. My mom, who is like the sweetest. Hi, Mom. Is the sweetest little like.
Hi, Mom.
Hi,
Hi, Winnie's mom.
Hi, Kim. She and her friend went to go see a completely different movie and ended up in the theater to Friday After Next around Christmas and got really high with a bunch of people that they didn't know because she was like, well,
In the movie theater?
oh yeah, they're all just like token up.
Really?
Oh yeah, so it's a movie about
kinda
weed.
cool.
It's great. Oh yeah,
How is that about Jesus?
he was
Well.
all about peace, and when you're high, you're
Peace,
at
love, and dope.
very peace. Yes, peace, love, and dope.
Oh,
Which, speaking of, it's not very Christmas, but it's sort of Christmas because January 1, it's legal.
yeah, it's
in
legal in
Chicago.
Chicago,
Or
in
Illinois.
Illinois,
I'm very
right?
excited.
Is it
Oh,
just
I have some.
marijuana?
Joe?
I mean, just kidding, I don't.
No,
But I-
Joe's mom. He does not have any.
No, but I will tell you a story about that. So my whole family smokes weed,
Yeah.
for medicinal purposes,
Same.
right? And
My cataracts.
yeah. So every time we used to live in upstate New York in this log cabin out in the middle of nowhere. So they were all in New York.
True story, this is.
Yeah, and every time they would come up, they would bring like big bags of weed, blueberry kush. I was like, what is all this, right?
I love your family.
Yeah. So then every time they would come up, every time they would leave, they'd say, "Oh, here, I'm leaving a little bit extra for you guys," right? And so we would take it, and neither Joe or I smoked a lot, so we just keep it in this
Well,
container.
I didn't smoke a lot. He smoked none.
Yeah.
But
Well, I don't smoke anyway.
But I would always okay, we lived 30 miles from town on 56 acres, and I always just put it was like this. I had a mason jar, and so they just kept putting it in there every time they came up, and
They'd leave a little extra.
they would say, we're just going to leave this here for emergencies. So by the time they were done, I had a full mason jar full
and a
of
whole bunch of
fucking
like
weed.
plastic
And I
bags
couldn't
full of
even
it.
because it was just the buds.
And we'd
I
have to
couldn't
hide
even-
it behind
I
the
couldn't even
picture
tell
over
you.
our fireplace.
There
I was afraid somebody
probably-
was going to come in and find it.
There was probably so many different strains going on, but I had it hidden behind the TV and shit. And I was like, why am I hiding it? We're 30 miles from town, and we live on 56 acres.
Is that my Christmas present?
Yeah.
Merry Christmas. So then when we left New York, we were moving. Where were we moving after that? We were moving somewhere, and I said to Joe, I said, I'm not putting this in the car and driving this across state lines.
Oh, we went to Indianapolis.
Ugh. Don't ever go there.
You need weed to move there.
I imagine.
When we lived in India, no disrespect to some in Indianapolis, but when we lived in Indianapolis,
But most of you.
I literally erased
Merry Christmas.
my whole. We lived there for 2 years. I erased
Glad tidings.
my whole life from Indianapolis. I unfriended everyone that I met there, erased everything. Anyway,
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Hope you
But
have
it
a
was
great
Merry
one.
Christmas leaving Indiana. Trust me. I never want to go back. I don't even want to go back for a
Oh,
visit.
so I really wanted to snow. I'm not a cold person, but I want snow. Usually this happens to me every year where I'm just like, at Christmas time, I'm like, I just want it to snow. I want it to dump a shit ton of snow, and then I want it to be gone, like, a few days later.
Yeah, like it snows and it melts.
Yeah. So DJ posted on Facebook the other day the snowstorm from 2011.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I saw that.
And he was like, I said, I want this to happen. It would be great. And a friend of ours that lives here, she's like, it wasn't great when it happened then. It's not going to be great when it happens now. And I was like, okay, but when we lived here in 2008, 2009, we had a similar snowstorm where people were literally abandoning their vehicles on Lakeshore Drive. And we lived just up the road, and we could see Lakeshore Drive. And it was horrible. I kind of want that to happen again.
As long as I have to go to work, I'm in for it.
I mean, you're not going to be able to go to work. Nobody's going to be able to go to
That's
work.
fine. I also don't leave my apartment.
I like snow just before
I don't
Christmas.
even leave my apartment during most.
You won't see
days.
Joe outside until spring.
When we got
anyway.
back from Mexico, I did not leave this apartment for 5 days. It was cold outside.
Understandable.
I was like, I'm done.
I don't leave my apartment's nice outside. I'm like, listen, Brooke, who's my dog? We're just gonna snuggle.
Aw.
We're gonna enjoy the day.
Yeah,
Right.
but what you have to take her for a walk.
I mean, I do, but like that's our time out. So, we go outside, we say hi to the neighbors, and let them know we're alive.
He says that to me too. He's like, you can't stay in here all the time. I'm like, I was out. He's like, going to the gym or going to get your haircut or to the grocery store isn't being outside. I'm like,
no,
really?
it counts.
How did I get there then?
It counts.
A count. So I want to just say that we have 10 minutes left for the show.
Okay.
And we have what? It's a week before Christmas. Who's
Yes.
done with their Christmas shopping? Who hasn't even begun?
I'm halfway done.
I only had to shop for my mom right now because I don't go home until January. So technically, my shopping's done.
I haven't even given you my Christmas list.
That's true. You're on my list. I'm
It's
gonna
a
buy
shit
something
list.
nice.
Uh-huh. What about you, Casey? Have you done any Christmas shopping?
Yeah, I'm done.
You're done? See, my mom would start Christmas shopping in August.
Oh yeah.
And she was like a master.
Oh, yeah.
She was like a pro. And every year I say to Joe, you know what, this year, this is so stressful. It's a week before Christmas and we still have stuff to mail out to family members. And I say to him, next year we're going to be much more prepared. We're going to save up money all year so it's not like a crush. Because here's the thing they don't tell you when you live in a building like this, right? So they have like a fund, an employee fund, right? For Christmas. And so you don't have to, but there are like 10 door people, and if you give 10 door people $20, that's,
A lot of money.
it's money.
Oh, they went more than $20.
They went more than 20. So last year I think we spent $500.
Wow.
And I was like, I'm going to be prepared next year. Now this year I'm not prepared at all.
I don't have any door people.
Thank God. But they do a lot. But all of a sudden, like one of the door people actually got a package. He came up the elevator and he brought it to my front door.
Aw, he's going the extra mile.
He's
like, Merry Christmas.
exactly. So he was I mean, I think they do a lot and everything, but it's a burden that you don't think of.
It really is. No, like I remember when I was in college, we had our door people and we used to make them cookies and stuff.
Mhm.
But
They get that, but really,
they want that. They want that cash money.
they want that cash money, and they want it, before Christmas as well.
Yeah, they got their own families to take care of.
Yeah, and I like most of them, but Joe has one that.
I heard the story.
I have issues,
I know.
Oh,
I heard
you
the
have
story.
issues, all right.
but I
I
like
met
most
her.
of them.
I
Yeah.
met her.
But we
very
for the most
I
part,
did say that if I did not get a thank you, I'm going to be upset.
Did you get a thank you?
Did you get a thank you?
Well, we haven't given them their gifts yet.
Oh.
But if I don't get a thank you from the gifts, then I'm going to say something.
Mm-hmm. So this is
So sassy.
She's not very nice.
We'll have to follow up on
She's
this.
nice.
Oh,
She
we
was-
would definitely.
She was
You-
nice to me.
It won't even be a month or two.
yeah. So I won't mention any because they don't
It'll
listen
be
to the show. But
December
I will say this.
26th.
So we'll walk in and the person will say, "Hi, DJ," and yell my name or whatever. But someone else, I won't mention.
Even like, so, okay. So when I do classes, I come home at night,
Mm-hmm.
and I usually, it doesn't really matter. This is not really a point to the story. I mean, this part, where I either walk or I get dropped off by Uber.
Mm-hmm.
But when the certain person is working, she just flings open the door and she just stares straight out into space. And I'm like, whatever.
I think though that this is what I was trying to explain to Joe is during Christmas
This probably isn't Christmassy.
It is. This is a time when you can be a little nicer, and you don't know
Joe.
you don't know what's going on in that person's life, and I do try that. I try and say, okay, it's Christmas. Nobody.
Just kidding.
Did you just burp on my show?
No, I just did this.
He fake belched.
Oh.
Or not belched.
But I don't know. I think you should try.
No.
I think you should make an effort. See, the relationship started out poorly, and I made an effort to turn it around. And for me, it completely turned around.
Oh, she adores you.
She does adore me.
They're both very nice. Every time I come in, they're like, "Oh, you're here to see DJ and Joe?"
Yep. Do they?
Well, I can guarantee you that it's not the person that I'm talking about because she refuses to say my name.
That's
Even
true.
when I have things delivered in my name, she refuses to call me. She calls him. And he's not even here sometimes. And I'm like, you can't do that.
I may have added the Joe to, qualm the.
I always tell her. I said,
love you, Joe.
I
Merry
said
fucking
Joe's.
Christmas.
Excuse
I was like, Joe's very, very sweet.
In the break room, they've got like a picture of you.
I know. Well, I mean, I've been back in that break room, so I mean,
And no photos of you with the darts.
no.
No,
Well, that's good.
I just think that.
But in her,
In
I
her
think
locker.
she
Yeah.
just reflects what he gives, and I'm thinking that if he gave something different,
no, that's
she'd
a
reflect that.
completely different.
I mean, as a
podcast.
sassy person, as another sassy person, Joe,
Mhm.
I think it's true.
What?
You have to be a little. You have to be less.
No.
Thank
I'm
you,
just saying.
Winnie.
I'm just saying that. Granted, here's my whole
There-
thing.
there's no argument, you lose.
No. Here's my thing: is you have to be nice.
You have a lot to.
You
edit.
have to be nice year round. You can't just because it's Christmas and I love Christmas. You can't just go around and say, for Christmas, I'm going to do this and this and this and this. I'm going to donate to this charity. I'm going to take care of these people and give them this jacket, or I'm going to give them blankets. If you're going to be like that at Christmas, it's the same thing with being gay and advertising in the month of June for Pride.
That's fair.
You can't just do it once a year.
Exactly.
You have to
Agreed.
do something year round.
Agreed.
And, what are you doing? But my whole thing is like you can't be like that. You have to be like that year round, and not just for Christmas.
I mean, it's true, but you also have to keep in mind that there's like a bunch of additional little things that might be adding up to that. But Christmas is especially a
That's
very
right, but
stressful
I
time.
always tell Joe you don't know what's going on in her life, and you know what? Maybe
But they don't know what's going on.
I know, but I
That's
found
very true.
that she was very off-putting at first, and I made the effort to, even though she was off-putting, I brought her cookies, and I would go down. I always say hello and have a wonderful evening and all that, and slowly she came around, and it's not anything like I didn't do it for a specific reason. I just said I'm not going to reflect what she's giving.
Right, you don't want to have that kind of relationship. With
And
someone.
then it turned around, and now we have a wonderful relationship. And I would
Fantastic.
rather I would rather have that.
Joe's so sassy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But he holds a grudge. Joe holds a grudge.
I'm not holding a grudge.
You
I
totally
just,
hold a grudge.
I just don't care.
All right. Well, listen, we're going to take a little bit of a break, and when we come back,
man.
we're going to do the last part of the show. And it was an interesting show. I like learning about the origin of Christmas. There's some stuff I didn't know, so that was kind of cool. And I liked us talking about what our favorite Christmas shows were, and when we come back, we're going to tie off and talk about what we're doing to get ready for the big day. So don't go away. You're listening to the DJ Doran Show.
I love that song.
The boys of NYPD choir still singing.
I haven't heard from her yet. DJ says to me, he's like, I don't even like this song. It reminds me of like an Irish ballad. And I said, because they're Irish?
Yes, it is. It is a very fucking Irish person.
Has anybody heard from her? Is she okay?
Oh, I have not.
Having maternal issues. I'm like, hey, my baby, who I just met.
This is supposed to be a very good album. This is John Legend, of course. You know everything. You
Oh,
do is
yeah.
amazing. Got a whole Christmas album.
Yes, I've heard like 2 or 3 of his songs. Absolutely amazing.
Are we recording right now?
I hope not, because I'm talking into the speaker.
All right. Well, we're back for the last segment of the DJ Doran Show. Joe, stop burping in the microphone. So we're listening to some Christmas music that our sound engineer, Casey, was nice enough to put together for us. So we were listening to The Fairy Tale of New York by the Pogues?
The
Pogues. The Pogues. Then John Legend, Christmas in New Orleans, NOLA. And then Sleigh Bells by TLC.
I love them.
I know. That was pretty awesome. And then earlier we were playing some Christmas movie sound clips, and our guests were
Absolutely.
Exactly. No scraps.
I'm just so glad that there was no Mariah Carey on there, because
Uh-huh.
I do love the one song, but I just can't.
It just finally hit number 1.
I know. I heard that.
Stop.
Yep. See, that's because we've been together 17 years.
I love it. No, stop it.
Yeah.
I love it.
No, I just was she knocking?
I thought I heard nothing.
All right. See if Jen is coming back to the studio, and then we're going to close out. So, first, thank you all for being on the show. It was fun. It was a little chaotic because there's so many people,
It was a pleasure.
but it was
A lot
fun.
of people drinking.
A lot of
Yes,
people drinking and
I-
talking over each other.
I
and
do like my wine. I'm sorry.
No, please. There's not anybody in here that doesn't drink wine. Well, I don't. I don't really drink. I'm such a boring gay guy. I don't
You're
drink.
not boring.
I'm totally boring when it comes to that sort of stuff. But that's a whole other future show.
I may just leave this completely untouched. Actually.
It probably could be. This
Just
is
for the
so.
spirit
Just for the
random.
spirit of
yeah, just
New York. Or
Hey,
not New York.
I want to play this
so
last.
everyone can know exactly.
You know.
I want to. What is? I didn't listen to this. There's one clip. I want to make sure that we play all these clips since you worked so hard to get them. So hold on. This is Run DMC.
Run DMC.
Just like the snowman. Merry Christmas and happy.
Yeah. Thank you, Run DMC.
The best.
Hold on. What's this one? The dough was for me.
Oh, well, yeah,
Let's try it.
it's from the same.
Those are pretty good, actually.
Love them.
All right. So what is? What's this
In
one?
the song, you found Santa's wallet and it's got millions of dollars in it.
Oh,
It's like, I could buy an old yacht or a brand new car, but I would still upset it because I know that's wrong.
That's funny.
But then he mails it back.
Gotta love Run DMC.
Wait, you got to try. Do you know who sings this?
Is this Wham?
Of course you would know that, Winnie.
Of course I would.
You know what's interesting is that you don't hear a lot of because like a lot of countries, people who live there will celebrate Christmas, but Christmas is really big in Japan too. It's kind of like a romantic holiday.
Ooh.
But interestingly enough, like because they I don't know, they celebrate the holiday in terms of like the festivities with the gift giving, and maybe we all have a special dinner, and we like the music and stuff. But it's without like, all of like the Christian elements, all the religious elements, just like completely removed from the picture.
That would be interesting.
Because they're not, they're not really Christian, right?
It's the best kind of Christmas. Hashtag hot take.
Hashtag.
Because of that, a lot of the music that like classical Christmas music that people will listen to here, they don't have that over there. I mean, not they don't have it, but they just don't care for it. So you hear a lot of like Mariah Carey and Last Christmas, and not a whole lot else.
I hate that song.
Which is
You
very,
do?
We just talked about it.
I hate it.
No,
so
I
much.
like the Christmas. What's that song? What's that
These
song?
guys apparently.
Christmas,
It's just
Where
like-
Are You?
It's like
No. I do love the Mariah Carey
Christmas
song.
It's like a Pavlovian response. I
I
think
just
You
don't like her.
Yeah,
Nobody likes
but
her.
that song is like oversaturated, like during the.
No, maybe that's not Mariah Carey. Who
Christmas.
sings that song?
It is Mariah Carey. Oh,
This is Christmas. Where can I find you?
Are you thinking of From the Grinch? Where are you? Grinch?
No, that's Cindy Lou Who. Oh God. You know what?
is that song from this decade? Oh, it's way better.
I swear to God, I just thought my phone started singing this, and I had my headphones in my ears.
Oh, this is my mother's favorite Christmas song.
That's mine.
I do love this song.
It's George Michael, right?
It's such a good
Wham.
one. I thought it was
Absolutely.
no, it's Wham.
Yeah, you guys, I have fun fact about me. I used to be the president of the Wham fan club back in Maryland.
Oh my God.
When I was a
I
wee
think I
little
knew that.
child. Yep.
Oh my God. Seriously?
I
You
mean,
and-
hello, it was Wham.
You and my mother would get along just great.
I'm telling you.
My mom is also a young mom, so don't take that
I
offensively.
love it. I'm not offended.
Are we gonna play this whole song?
It's just the instrumental part of it.
right?
It's our background music.
You threw it away.
Oh my God.
You go, Casey. Go.
Go.
Good thing that we don't have the
Oh, I'm not
karaoke
doing
part
karaoke.
on this.
No.
Do it.
There's a really good song by
wasn't
a British girl called Dear Santa, which is one of those like sad Christmas. It's not sad, but like it's upbeat. But
Oh
also
wait,
sad.
that's not the one about the stupid fucking shoes.
No, that's the Christmas shoes.
I hate that
Oh
song.
no, I don't know what that song that is.
Joe would play. He'd be like,
No,
"Oh,
I don't.
Oh,
like
the
that song.
donkey one?
no, he likes that."
I
The
love
Christmas.
that.
That
He
Dominic
does.
the
Dominic
Yeah.
the donkey.
Yeah, I can't do it.
What is it?
Can't do it.
Dominic the donkey.
Yeah, I hate that song.
Jiggity jiggity. Dominic
I
the
don't
donkey.
think they say jiggity jiggity.
They say jiggity jiggity.
jiggity jiggity is from fucking what's his name?
They say
Off of,
jiggity jiggity.
Family Guy.
Yeah,
What's
jiggity.
the guy that's always
That's
trying to
giggity,
bone
giggity.
everybody? Diggity,
No,
diggity,
giggity,
diggity,
giggity.
It's
Giggity, giggity.
I heard it today. It's jiggity jiggity. It's Dominic the donkey.
Yeah. I was at a bar once and they played it 5 times in a row, and I wanted to.
Oh, I gotta
my eyes
find that
out.
one now.
It's Christmas. Speaking of, I have to go to. Sorry,
Jiggity,
You can
jiggity,
speak in 1 second, but I have to go to a Christmas themed bar.
Oh, well, I just got a text from the ladies who said they wanted to go tomorrow before your class.
Did you invite any of us?
Before, but I have to prep.
You do have to prep. And prep is a bitch. Who's your assistant?
Damn it,
Who?
Yeah.
I said, who's your assistant?
Chuck.
What do you have to prep?
God
Maybe
bless
you
you.
could prep it before.
Yeah,
going
prep
to
it earlier.
Yeah.
It's just
Just
cookies.
do it a couple
Cookies.
What's to prep?
hours.
What else? What are you cooking?
It's not like you're chopping up stuff.
I'm making. Well, you guys are making cookies and brownies.
Oh,
We are.
Actually, I don't have to do shit.
That's what
yeah, I
I'm
was
Are we
saying.
like,
making
wait a
peppermint
minute.
brownies?
Yes,
Yeah.
we're making peppermint
Oh, I want to
brownies.
go. I'm so sad I'm dog sitting.
I mean, just leave him for a few minutes and then go.
No, he like will destroy my door. He's an anxious dog.
I mean,
my dog wouldn't because she's an angel.
Of course.
crate him.
I don't think. I mean, I could stick her in her crate, but
If you
And
really
we're
want,
having tequila.
Don't, Allison, if you're listening, I will never do that.
It's going to be Mary Margaritas.
I mean, I'm
courtesy of Casey.
Casey.
Well, I mean,
Casey
he
named it.
He named it.
Mary Margarita.
Don't thank me for naming that so much as, being shameful of all of you for not thinking of it.
Yeah,
it's like
I
the
know,
easiest fucking thing ever.
I said perverty Rudy's red margarita.
Just take the compliment, Casey. Just take the compliment.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna trigger me.
I mean, seriously, I think I was reaching for that one because I was like, I don't know what to call it. Jason has one. Okay, but Jason has one. I think it's called Slutty Santa. Mark. And I was like, I don't want to call it Slutty Santa.
Oh no!
Of course he does.
Well, of course he does. We don't listen to whoever.
Ew, Slutty Santa, and it's red.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh my God! Cut him off, would you, with that wine over there? I mean, what was that growling?
This is the last time I've been pointed.
You're like, you can't even do
No, it's just the no, it's just the rolling of the.
I can't do that.
But
I can't roll my tongue or curl it or any of that.
It's gonna sound gross, but
Sorry,
it's more.
Joe.
Please, Jenna.
more than you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't do that.
Ay, Dios mío.
Oh my God!
Caramba.
This is about Christmas.
There wasn't even the Mexican in the room. I don't know what just happened here.
I don't know what happened. Santa went to south of the border.
Oh,
Well, that sounded.
he usually
I
does.
mean, ay, Dios Santo.
Muy guapo, Santa,
Mi
Santa
guapo.
Claus.
Oh my God.
So that. Oh, I'm gonna end the show on this note. We went to Mexico one year, and I was trying to speak Spanish since we were just trying to speak Spanish.
This is not a Christmas.
I know, but it's funny. I like it.
We'll make it Christmas.
Yeah.
the
So
best.
we went to
I thought my dad was going to die right
we
there.
went to Walmart because whenever we go
It's
to
Christmas.
Mexico, we go to Walmart. We get food for the resort, because we have a timeshare, or his parents have a timeshare, and we squat there. And
We'll soon have that timeshare.
soon. Oh, that's sad.
Well, no,
That
because
is- Wow.
they can. I mean, I didn't mean to
down on Christmas. Good
I
God.
didn't make it sound like that, but
Oh.
I mean,
Sorry, Laura and Danny.
We'll
we
soon have
they
that
can
time
add
share.
us to
It's very stabby of me to say.
it. Anyways,
Anyway, so
but
we-
he's telling the wrong story.
Mark it. Mark
No,
that.
I didn't know
Yeah,
this year.
absolutely mark that shit.
So when we were walking in Walmart, I saw this juice, and they had. No, wait, I'm getting to it.
But it's wrong.
No, it's not wrong.
Let him get there.
It's
Trust me,
It's
I
a-
try to let him get there, but he's still wrong.
You say mark it and you think I'm going to take it out, but I'm actually just going to make it louder.
yeah. So we went to the market and we were gonna buy these juices, and they were in these boxes, and they had apple.
It didn't
and-
happen.
Hold on.
Joe.
No, it
Joe.
didn't happen because we were at a restaurant.
I know. I'm getting to the restaurant. Shush.
But the,
Shush.
The
Cut off his mic.
Walmart was after the restaurant.
Oh.
Oh, see, look, light bulbs.
No, because that's where I figured how to say it.
Is this old age?
This
what
is
looks like
this is
for me?
marriage.
No, because you
Oh,
you can't.
no,
you,
I've-
no,
oh.
no. You just
I've
can't.
done that.
You can't tell the story by going to the after effect before you talk about what actually happened.
Okay, then you tell the story.
Okay, so we're at a.
How about I
this is
tell
gonna
the
be,
story?
This will be super fast. So we're in a restaurant, and DJ, we were all drinking.
Except me.
Except for DJ.
Because Christmas.
Yeah.
Tuesday.
It was a month before.
It was Tuesday.
It was a month before Christmas, and so we're at a restaurant, and so we ordered our drink. They go to DJ, and the waiter says, "What would you like to have?" And I believe that it was breakfast or brunch, and DJ says, "I want jugo de piche," which juice. Jugo is juice. Yeah. But when you put the phrase that he put together, jugo de piche, de peche.
I meant to say
it
peach
means,
juice.
No, stop. It loosely translate it to I want dick juice.
Oh.
He says that in front of
That's
my
awkward.
parents. And my father is a full-blooded Mexican. And my dad was mid-drink into whatever drink he was drinking, spits it out, starts choking, almost falls to the ground. I look up and I'm like, oh, fucking God. And the waiter is like, bursting at the face, and he was just like, his face was turning red because he's trying not to fucking laugh so much.
I would have just laughed at you.
Because
And my mom's like,
damn American.
My mom's like, what? And I smack him. I smack DJ, and I'm like, you can say shit like that. So then,
That's why I don't try and
And
speak
he
Spanish.
meant
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Really?
So, but
Have
my
you been
dad,
to Stella's with you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
My dad is like almost dying because he says this. So then we are at the grocery store at Walmart, and we're looking at all of this. We're getting food and groceries and blah 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 blah. And my mom is down the beverage aisle, and she screams. She yells down the aisle, "Hey DJ, I found the peach juice!" But
And
for the-
Joe's like, I have the dick. What was it?
No, I'm looking for dick juice.
Yeah.
exactly. But here's the thing: is he tried to say peach, and like most Americans, they just say add an E to an or an A or an O to the word, and so DJ's like
Spanglish.
peach. The actual word is not even close to it. Peach in Spanish is durazno.
Oh, you were
Oh, wow.
way,
You're way off.
like not even in the ballpark.
way down the alphabet.
I was
Wow.
about to say.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Yeah.
come on.
Well,
And so-
you say peach, and people say, "Oh, I want the Coca-Cola O." When they
Do they though?
No, they don't. They actually just say, "I want coca."
Coca.
Wait, so really quick, how do you say dick juice in Spanish?
You go to Peche.
Who got the better?
You go to Peche.
Wonderful.
got that picture?
Mark it.
Mark it. You got
We'll
the.
send you the transcript.
Notes. Taking notes. That's fine.
Oh my God. Yeah. So that was fun.
Also, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Because
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.
Because Christmas.
Yeah, right.
Open up a big old jug of
Dick
Dick
juice.
juice.
dick juice.
Who go to PJ? Married. Who go to PJ, bitches?
The DJ Doran Show.
Yeah, next
That
year.
would be Feliz Navidad. Jugo de Piche Putas.
Bitch juice. How dare you?
That sounds bad. For all of those people.
Merry Christmas, dick juice, bitches.
Oh.
That's basically what I said.
Oh, I thought you said bitch juice. And I was
That
like,
should actually be the episode title.
oh, please.
Best clickbait
Feliz Navidad.
ever.
Feliz
Yeah.
Navidad, jugo de verga putas.
Yes, exactly. Except you have to say it.
Just like that.
Oh my God.
Oh my god, yeah.
Well, it is an explicit show, so.
Very,
Yeah.
very.
And we were pretty
Pretty
tame.
I would click on that.
You
Actually,
know
I
what?
wouldn't.
Because
I know what it
Christmas.
means, but-
Because Christmas.
Yeah.
Because it's Christmas.
Because it's a present.
It's a present.
Oh, I thought you said prison.
Oh, that too.
I mean,
Unbelievable.
If you're Catholic.
What's that?
Quizás un día podemos echar el show en español.
Casey's just going off.
It's going up. And
Right?
ah.
Just
I don't-
to add
I-
some flavor to the, get some, get
Mm.
that
We're getting
demographic,
we're getting
you know what I mean?
flavor in here.
we're getting flavor.
Goodness.
The jugo de verga demographic, you know what I mean?
I don't even know what that means. What are you saying?
Jugo de
A bunch
verga.
of bullshit,
Oh.
honestly.
Jugo de verga.
Whatever.
Chupa mi
Okay,
verga.
well, now we are coming to the.
Sorry. Totally didn't mean to say that.
Yeah, that was rude.
Sorry, Joe's mom.
What did I say?
I don't know, but if somebody understands it, that was rude. So we're coming to the end of this episode of the DJ Doran Show, and we're going to
Christmas
now.
went downhill super.
We went downhill super fast. We're going to gravitate towards the out of the studio into the living room and relax after that. So before we go, you can follow us on iHeartRadio. The DJ Doran Show is on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Deezer, SoundCloud, Spotify, and every other major podcast platform out there. So make sure you give us a follow and take a listen. And hopefully you listen to our Christmas show. And the first part was informative. The second part went downhill after that. And that's what happens when
People drink.
the guests drink.
Yeah.
And we celebrate Christmas. So it was
It's
great.
Christmas cheer.
It was great having you. We look forward to seeing you next year. You've been listening to the DJ Doran Show. I'm DJ Doran. Have a wonderful evening.
I gotta pee.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
Bye, guys.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Edition of the DJ Doran Show. You can find us on Apple Podcasts,
That is the last time I've been invited over.
Podomatic, Stitcher.
No, it's not.
The other major
My ears are sweating.
It's not, but you should totally come on my show.
No.
We have to think of a topic for you, though. Like, what do you want to talk about?
I want to be there.
Anything. I'll talk about any kind of sex you want.
Oh, you want to talk about sex? Okay.
I mean, you can do whatever you want.